I don't know what the fuck Gino's talking about, but he's back, bitches.
Caught me in the bathroom with the pair of pantyhose. That's Cheech Marine.
Of An Chong fame.
You know what? I remember it from the Korn album.
I thought it was Cheech Marin. Is it Cheech Marine?
Is it Cheech Marin?
I thought it was, yeah.
Boy, I'll out myself as an idiot if that's the case.
I'm surprised he hasn't been on Lucha Underground yet, because he's a big Robert Rodriguez boy. He shows up in From Dusk Till Dawn and a bunch of other stuff, too.
Is that a fact?
That is a fact.
No, that's from the Korn's. What was their second album called? It's had Freak on a Leash.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know.
Got the Life. What was it? Follow the Leader. Yep. It was the hidden track. Remember when they did that on records? They had not even records, they're CDs.
On CDs, yeah. Like there was the last song was 45 minutes long because there was a song.
There was a hidden track, and you had to like fast forward to get to it, and you felt all cool, and then it was literally just fucking Cheech fucking baked off his ass going.
There was somebody.
He told me, he goes, I wear my sister's clothes.
I think there was like some Mike Patton project. I don't know. He's got a Mr. Bungle or something where like the hidden track was just fart noises.
Beautiful. I really liked Coal Chambers. I need a bucket of chicken up in this motherfucker. This is the way it's got to be. Oh, man. We're here to talk wrestling. Not wrestling. That from listening to us for the first. We're in much better moods this week. Although I must say, last week's deeply philosophical, psychological, emo episode, for lack of a better term, got over pretty well, I thought.
We just
People were like, well, this is a deeply insightful chat between two fine fellows.
And a lot of people were like, please don't hurt yourselves, guys. It didn't sound good.
Someone's like, the fuck's wrong with Gino? Someone give that guy a doobie? Good Lord. Who calls it a doobie?
You missed it. That conversation continued on the award-winning post show for like 15 minutes or something.
It did, yeah.
Only subscribers know that.
I hurt myself.
You gotta listen to the end of the podcast for like 30 minutes of dead space, and then there's information on how to subscribe to the after show.
Yep. And you'll never get there because you have lives.
I bet there's somebody that listens to it.
I hurt myself to see if I still feel.
That is deep. I got a zit right here.
Just deal with it, Sean. Monday night.
That's good. Somebody's gonna screenshot that shit. God damn it! Oh, they can't see it. Can they not? They can't see the little inset gimmick, right? Only you can see that.
Yeah, when it's two people. But so you'd have to talk and then do that again.
So, like, if I did this, then people could see that. They could see that.
That'll be someone's Twitter avatar by the end of it. And if it isn't, I'll make it the Cage Side Twitter avatar.
We should do hashtag No Way Sean. Get that over.
Oh man!
Everybody change your avatars to this face.
Did No Way Day get over?
I mean, it got over a little bit, like on wrestling Twitter. It didn't get over on like real world Twitter.
I mean, I know Shinsuke Nicki Minaj did. He was
Shinsuke is in. He and No Way Jose are tight.
He's a good Twitter user, I feel. Apparently, he's on Snapchat, and I haven't gotten his name yet.
I thought he lost the battle with Snapchat.
No.
He went back in. He re-entered the fray.
I believe so.
I like how he's got I don't know if it's a gimmick or it's just after every, because we do the house show reports now, and I just fucking, because I have no life, I just troll the Twitter tag for the house shows to get the results.
That's what you do.
And he, after every show that he's on, he's like, I'm done with Roanoke or wherever they are. And that's it. It's like hashtag NXT Tacoma, I'm done in Tacoma. And that's all he says. He does it after every show. Yep.
Like, he's like, oh, hang on, I better update my followers. Let them know that I finished working this evening.
Do not come to Nebraska looking for me. I am done here.
I've already finished my match. I'm punching out.
Shit.
That's his way of punching out, is sending out a tweet. What'd you think of Raw?
It was all right.
Actually, what's up, Sean?
Hey, man, I'm good. How are you?
I'm fucking lovely, feeling better.
Feeling
good. Life is what life is. Still sucks, but I watched a video from Vince McMahon. It was a great reminder. Life sucks, and then you die. There you go.
It's not.
Now, I expect good reviews for my Vince impression.
I wasn't as good as your Willow or your Rome. I'm upset that we forgot to get to Willow last week because Kyle Decker and I were talking in the Cage Side offices about how the best thing that was going to come out of that angle was going to be just more of you doing that impersonation. And then we didn't even get to it on the episode of Sadness.
What was the angle? Which is funny we didn't get to it on the episode of Sadness.
I've seen the spoilers, so I know, and it is actually playing out better week to week than it did in the spoilers, where it just sounded like the stupidest fucking.
Oh yeah, that we were laughing about.
Yeah, but week to week, I mean, it's a little bit better. But last week, just the multiple Willows showed up, and Jeff was like, "What? I'm Willow. How can you be Willow?" And that was so.
He really did that.
Intrigue.
How are you Willow? Because I'm
How
Willow.
can you be Willow?
Are there another Willows?
I think we've seen 3 Willows so far, but there's more coming.
That's another. So I went back and watched that commercial that we talked about before. Where
the one where he dies.
Like, you need to buy an umbrella. It's or you can get it at shoptna.com. It's way better than owning a plastic skeleton. And he's holding up a plastic skeleton, and then he dies. Literally, he falls over dead, and the camera shows him lying on the ground, passed away.
Maybe that's one of the hidden tracks. For what was his band's name?
It's like Peroxygen Y or something.
I just remember I watched one video of it, and I think I went deaf for like 2 weeks after.
I listened to one song, and I've never been the same.
It was not good.
Yes. Oh man! So we're 10 minutes in, still no Raw, and trying to get us there.
All right, let's do it. Let's talk Raw. There was a lot to happen. A lot went on. There was a lot going on.
Not really.
Well, there was a lot going on. I won't say a lot happened, but there was a lot going on.
The disgruntled real estate agents made their big debut.
Oh yeah, people want us to talk about that on Twitter. I predicted that we wouldn't, but here we go. Let's do it. Just
of course we're gonna talk about it, dude. This show was like Handstock. I thought I'm gonna put over Handstock here. I thought he was brilliant. He said, "I like this show because of the aggressively dumb shit they've been doing on this show." That's a really good way to describe WWE on a weekly basis. They are aggressively dumb. Like they're not content with just being kind of dumb or unintentionally dumb. They're going full 9 with it.
My problem, and why I like this episode as compared to some other episodes, is that I think that sometimes they do go half-ass dumb. They just fart around and they don't. Like last night, they committed to stupidity. And I admire that. In anyone, in any walk of life. If you're going to be a dumbass, fucking own it. Look, at least in the second hour last night with the fucking 10-minute montage of R-Truth and Goldust and the Wayback Machine. I mean, that was fucking nth level dumb. And if you're going to do it, go for it.
What a stupid show.
It was, but it reveled in it.
But they said, what a stupid show. You know what? This is a stupid show. Mm-hmm. This is going to be the stupidest fucking show you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Have you read the comments in the Raw recap?
No, I don't read it.
Did you read the Raw recap?
No.
It's okay. I was going to say it's okay if you're like, no. Fuck you.
No, I didn't.
I don't give a shit at all.
I was worried I might go in there and it would say something about some very bad article that I wrote. So, I didn't go in.
Dude, people love our feud. Our quote-unquote feud.
I'm right. You're wrong.
And I just love that on the internet, you can be damn sure that you can say literally any word and someone's going to come in and be like, well, actually. I said you're the Sami Zayn to my Kevin Owens.
Mm-hmm.
You're fucking Swift, you fucking Judas. You know what I'm saying?
But he's on your side in the argument. He's down there telling me how much salt packets weigh.
Well, yeah. He's like, it's actually more like Neville and Sami Zayn. I think it's more like that. I'm going to have to mark down your use of Kevin Owens. Swift became that guy.
If there's any person on earth that is qualified to speak on an NXT feud and us, it's Andrew M. Swift.
It's Swift.
The dude has written like 400,000 words onto those two topics, so I'll allow it.
He's listened to entirely too much of our voices droning on about fucking mindless shit. But he was right, though, about that.
Are we still not talking about Raw? I just want to be
We're going to talk about Raw, but he was right. He was right about you fucking tried so hard to be super serial and get in there and be like, if you want her to give out things, that, product that they can weaponize and then throw at her, then that's your business.
I'm not
just
worried
saying
about
I don't wish to partake. I don't wish to partake. That's all I'm saying.
All right.
Dude, and Swift's like, it's a salt packet.
I'm telling you.
Dude, it weighs like 0.2 ounces. What the fuck you talking about? It weighs so little, it couldn't even get...
and sue WWE. I guarantee you. It's not worth it.
It weighs so little. If you're ringside and threw it as hard as you could, it wouldn't even get to the ropes. And Sean's like, you're going to weaponize product.
All right, you're the one calling her a top heel, so let's just move on.
She is a top heel.
Where? In what reality is she a top heel?
You're like, oh my God, Eva's got an idea. Even the idea pisses me off, so I'm going to write a whole article about how pissed I am. It didn't piss me
off. I thought it was stupid.
You were so pissed, Sean.
I was not pissed.
You were the most.
You didn't even read the article. That's because I spend more time talking about the good ideas she had in that stupid fucking video than if she wants to get heat with me. You know what she should do? Her new gimmick should be shouting out everyone on the internet that says that they want to shout out, because that is fucking annoying as hell, and that makes me want to see her get her ass beat. You know what,
Sean? Don't try to
shout out to Gabe 13. Boy, you guys love your shout outs. Gabe 13. You go. Thanks for saying my hair's red, Jomo Sensual.
Look at how mad you are. You were so
I'm not mad about salty dogs. I'm mad about everything else.
You were mad about salty dogs. And you put her over with stuff. Look, Sean, don't try to confuse me with the facts. You hate her guts.
Can we talk about Raw?
No, so hang on. The Raw the comments. So I decide this Dean Ambrose Chris Jericho feud's fucking dumb as shit. It's the dumbest shit in the history of the world. And I'm like, well, you know what? I had a thought last night on Twitter. I go, this is actually about consumerism. This feud is actually about how fucking straight go Fight Club with it, how the things we own end up owning us. Chris Jericho, all Dean Ambrose's life sucks. His career sucks. Everything this is a man who once lost a match because the TV blew up in his face. Like, this dude's had it bad since he's been doing his thing on the main roster. Since the Shield broke up and his brothers left him, one of which is far more successful than he'll ever be, the other of which was also far more successful than he'll ever be, and also beat the shit out of him all the time. So Ambrose is miserable. The only thing good he had going for him in his life was that fucking potted plant. And Chris Jericho broke it on his head. How dare he? So he exposes Jericho's vanity, because Jericho has many things, but he's vain, and he's got that $15,000 jacket, so he destroyed that. And now they're going to fight to the fucking death in an Asylum match because they've destroyed each other's belongings. So you could find a way to give it some deeper meaning other than, holy shit, children are writing this television show. He's going to break his plant because he likes the plant a lot, and they're going to fight. This is going to be great. Like, that's generally the dumbass idea. So I put that. I said, it's actually about consumerism if you go to look deep, and I shit you not. And they're wrecked to the fucking moon. Someone goes, is this fucking guy serious? It's not about the potted plant, Gino. It's about the fact that he broke it over his head. And it hurt him. What are you even saying? He's been very clear about that. Do you even watch SmackDown? 2 things. No, I don't watch SmackDown. And 2, I don't even watch Raw, so I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Do you even SmackDown, bro?
Yeah, do you even SmackDown? Do you even No, I don't. I have a girlfriend. I have a life. I pay bills. You fucking oh man. Yep. So
I like that feud because it's about a plant.
No, it's not. It's about how Jericho hit him in the head with the plant. No, it's about the plant. It's a potted. It's really about how he took the show, I guess, or he stole his show and they're mad at each other. Yeah, I don't even fucking know what it's about.
It's been aggressively dumb, and I'm okay with it.
That's what it is. It's an aggressively dumb. Shout out to Bill Handstock. Both of those. I don't know why. I don't know how Dean Ambrose, because even if you hate that angle, Dean Ambrose makes you hate it a little bit less. And I'm not a big Dean fan, but somehow it works. And I am a giant Chris Jericho mark, and I thought his promo about how he was going to show him he was a bigger crazy person, and I thought his yelling at Renee Young backstage was fucking. I loved it. So. And that's the problem with Total Divas is we can't buy Dean as like nothing's going for him when we're going to fucking watch him travel Europe with Renee Young. Okay, but that hasn't happened yet, and B, the cool thing about
it's happened in internet kayfabe. We all know.
well,
We all know he's having sweatshop spiritual experiences with Daniel Bryan.
I did like his what's it like being filmed, and he's like, I don't know. We walk around, they fucking catch shit sometimes. I don't know, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the cool thing about this shit, dude, right, is you can just take what you need from it.
Mm-hmm.
You get what you want out of it. So I can absolutely look at the story and be like, it's way more interesting to me to think that he's not upset about getting hit in the head with his own potted plant. He's upset because his potted plant was the only good thing he had left in his life. Because that's a layer, dude. That's adding layers to it. Anybody can hit anybody with any sort of inanimate object and it'd be a problem, obviously. That's implied already, you fucking dopes. I get that that's a problem, you stupid idiots. I get that that's a big deal.
Doesn't it feel good to say you stupid idiots?
It does, kind of. I hate that Jericho did that, you stupid idiots. Because it's, of course, look, that's what he's really mad. Of course, that's what he's fucking mad. Like, get hit in the head with a plant, dude. He broke something over his fucking head. Of course, he's upset about
Didn't they say last night that it was a 20-pound potted plant? Didn't Cole or somebody specify the weight of Mitch?
I love that you have to say potted plant, because if you just say plant, then Dean Ambrose is just the biggest.
He's just smacking him with a twig if you just say plant.
He's just hitting him with a leaf, and Dean's like, I'm getting really pissed off about this. Yeah, that's way more interesting to me.
So, do we
pulled that off. Can you imagine the promo? Like, all right, look, everyone knows I've been having problems in things haven't been going well for me. But, you know, if nothing else, he could even take the Fight Club script. If nothing else, if I've got nothing else going for me, I had that potted plant. And you destroyed that, Jericho. So now I'm going to fucking destroy you. There's a deeper commentary on life there. Like I said.
But it's there for you if you want it. And it's if people want to just wonder what he's going to do with that bucket that he hung above the ring, then you have that.
There was a bucket above.
There was a bucket and a mop. It's going to get so crazy in there that they had to hang the stuff that they're going to use to clean up afterwards because they didn't know what might happen to it otherwise.
What was that music that was playing?
That was my favorite part. The cage has its own entrance theme. I hope they play that through the whole match on Sunday. They
were booking this and we're like, wait, this isn't dumb enough.
Exactly.
We need one more thing to put it over the top, and fucking the music producer's like, I got an idea.
I got something.
Let me play this shit for you.
Sign was backstage going, ooh.
We're going to give the cage an entrance.
We've been working on something. Check this out.
What's even better is Vince doesn't think it's dumb. He thinks it's fucking genius. This is a blood feud. There's a fire extinguisher up there. What are you? That's a safety measure. Why the fuck? You want a death match, like something fucking nuts and crazy that they're going to do wild shit? What's the fire extinguisher for?
It's the PG era. You can't.
I guess.
And I think Son of Mitch, which JBL actually called it, I think Son of Mitch is in a plastic pot this time for safety. Because you don't want somebody to get hurt with another.
That's what they should have done. They should have just went batshit. Like, the winner of the match is the first person to fucking throw some seeds and pot a new plant.
Mitch on a pole.
Mitch on a pole. And Dean would have sold that, though. Dean would have been like, I'm getting Mitch back. I don't give a shit what it takes. And I need sessions with Jericho in the back in his little closet dressing room, fucking sitting there watching tape. Like, you know what? As long as I don't let him get a hold of that fire extinguisher, I think I can win this match. True. I need side quests, too. Like, if you rake your opponent across.
Well, there are no rules. So nobody's even going to win this match. Dean said it himself. There's no rules. It's just going to be, they're going to.
How do you beat your opponent?
We don't know. There's no rules. It's not about beating him. It's about making sure that he's never, ever the same again.
Why did it?
Woo! That was scary.
Are you still on the? Are we on the air?
I don't know. I don't know how to fix that.
It's about making sure
somebody cue the music. It's dark in here.
We're all gonna die today.
Bray Wyatt's gonna run in.
Some ominous shit, dude.
At least it's not Friday the 13th. I'm leaving. Scary. not sitting down here in the dark. Fuck that.
Come back. Don't go into it, you dumbass. Oh, there's the lights again. Oh, what the fuck just happened?
I don't know. It was. I was going to see if it was like the plug came out, and because I thought maybe it was that little fucker Edwin that everybody loved last week.
Wait.
But it wasn't.
Are you sitting Indian style on the floor?
Of course I am. That's how we do this.
I don't know why. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how little.
Why? Where do you think?
I thought you were at a fucking desk. You're just like sitting Indian style.
I am on the floor in my basement. This is how we do it.
Oh my god.
This is how we do it, do you? What? Yeah, that's where we are.
I don't want to ever be the same again and the fucking lights cut out, dude. I'm scared to death right now.
This is Mitch's cousin.
He said, I'm getting the fuck out of here. Oh, what's that above it?
It's a little like
heat lamp?
Yeah. No, it's like a sun lamp thing.
Oh man, only a 40-year-old man would own that.
That's some Julie stuff. No, that's what a married man would own because his wife bought it.
Oh, Julie. She's a hero. Oh my god, that was great. That's one of the best moments in the history of Cage Side Live.
Wow. Swift will let us know later.
Oh man, fuck that guy. Anyway, love you, Swift. God, quit your whining.
All right, so we talked about the Asylum match.
Yeah. Here's another thing that got me a bunch of heat, and I was told literally to delete my account.
Did you?
To log off and delete my account. I did not. I did not. I'm disinclined to acquiesce to that request. I thought the New Day segment was fucking hot trash. One of the worst in their history. And people are like, you hate fun? Yeah. Yeah, I do. I mean, I despise it.
You figured me out.
Been having a grand old time with the rest of the show, but yeah. Did you like it?
I liked two things about it.
I can guess the two things.
All right, well, go ahead. Try to guess.
Come on the keyboard.
Not specifically, but yes, they are.
And Kofi Kingston wanting so badly to stay in 2009. Yes.
The Kofi, basically anything that Kofi and Big E did, pretty much I enjoyed. I thought Kofi was funny, and I thought the setup of Big E telling Xavier that this is a bad idea, that made me chuckle. The whole like, no, that's a refrigerator box. No, don't do that. Because he was basically saying what you ended up thinking. He's like, don't do this. This was not going to work. Please stop. Was basically what he was saying, and I thought it was funny.
Kofi and Xavier's excellent adventure and Big E's bogus journey. Essentially. I just thought it was dumb and it didn't play well. And, and I said it didn't get over in the live crowd or it didn't come across that way on TV. So I just said it didn't go over with the live crowd. People were there live. We're big enough now that, yeah, it did. You don't fucking know what you're talking about.
There you go. Glad you liked it. I don't know. What the fuck?
I'm glad you had a good time, fucking guy.
No, it didn't. You hated it.
Yeah. You clearly are the biggest. Delete your account. Log off.
Can you delete your account without logging off? Is that like a required step, the logging off? Why are they specifically telling you to log off?
Sean.
Stop it. I want to know.
One is the other, right? Like
I might need to delete my account later, and I want to know because because I called Samoa Joe Samoa Joe today, and he might try to kill me.
No, so I didn't even. I didn't put the E on it. I liked it better when I think Samoa Joe.
Samoa Joe.
Samoa Joe. Give me Samoa Joe.
Samoa Joe.
Give me Samoa Joe. I was saying something.
I know. You were saying that you were supposed to delete your account because you hate fun.
And then the fucking Vowdy Valance showed up and attacked him. And it was dumb. People were like, it's actually got real heat on him. No, it didn't. Nobody gives a shit. You know who gets real heat? The Dudleys. Because they fucking interrupted the soft catchphrase. Soft. Full New York.
They had to go caucus in the hallway, though. So
what was that?
It's the McMahons, the star of the show.
Is it just me, or is there a weird sexual tension in the McMahon family?
It's not you.
It's not just me. Because I don't want to be weird about this. I really don't. But it's just maybe it's just a Stephanie and Vince thing, and that's fucking weird shit, right? It's just so weird the way they act towards each other. And then they got out of that limo that one time, and you're like, those two were definitely down. And you're like, well, this is like weird. That's a mom, and then you remember some of the shit this man's pitched.
Right. Well, that's the thing. Is like, is it really there, or is it just because we know that
That's a good point,
it?
because once you watch the McMahon DVD, for those who aren't aware, Stephanie McMahon told the story of she got pregnant with one of her 3 children back in, probably 2006, 7, maybe whatever it was. This DVD came out around then, I believe, whatever. And Vince McMahon, actually pitched a story to put her on TV and be revealed as the father. Vince McMahon is Stephanie McMahon's dad in real life. That is a shoot.
What?
Yeah, right?
Wow. Mind blown.
You have to say it because I can't fucking believe that's a thought he even had in his head. For even just a story. Well, it's just a story. No, that's fucked up. So now we see them and they interact with each other, and it's like, look, I don't want to be weird. Those two might be having sex with each other.
Yeah.
So we get to Raw last night, and here's Shane and Stephanie. Shane, the son. They're talking. What'd you say? They're talking Caucus and the cock. And then they're laughing and giggling and fucking carrying on, and it's like, now these two are boning down? Are these two doing that? What the fucking world, dude? Obviously, I don't think they're having sex. I want to be clear on this point, because I don't want to get in trouble, is what I'm saying. I'm not trying to get sued. Tell me it's not just me.
Yeah. Well, they're going so overboard to make them seem like buddy, so that when Stephanie turns on him, I guess it'll be super heat. Because Shane is the biggest babyface in the company right now, I think.
Is he?
He's the one who's being presented like clear cut as a babyface. I mean, everybody else. I mean, the main event is shades of gray all over the place. So, kind of. I mean, he's still getting pops. He probably got one of the biggest pops last night. I don't know. We'll have to check with our affiliates in Greensboro, but
and lost his breath.
Well, he's still not good, but he's over.
No, I mean he gassed. He was blown up.
Well, that's part of not being good. Yeah.
I got a bug in my throat, which is why I'm not talking much. I'm struggling.
Yeah, I don't think you're alone. I think there's some. Well, I don't want to really talk about this a whole lot more, but there is a little bit of sexual tension there, maybe.
It's just weird, and that's a mark against them. What the fuck?
Can I ask a question for the whole audience here while you get your fucking throat fixed?
Yeah, let me get water.
And I might get heat for this, but I don't care. I don't think it's wrong. I think it's a legitimate question. Was Dana Brooke's injuries in NXT partially getting some water bags put in her chest? Because
geez.
But I mean, it's a legit question, because it goes to, like, we say that we've gone past like the bra and panties matches and all this stuff, but she would be the second woman that did that before she got called up. And I don't know, I'm not saying WWE's asking them to do that, but if that's something they think will help them get over, that's still a little weird. I don't know. I mean, I think she did. I mean, it looks to me like her breasts are larger, and she was injured, and we never had what the injury was, which is the same thing that happened with Charlotte before she came up. So it's kind of weird. I don't know. It's not. I mean, it's just part of her look. I'm not judging her for it. Your
theory is she wasn't actually injured. She was getting a boob job.
Mm-hmm. Or she was injured, and while she was injured, she also decided to get a boob job. Either one.
I suppose it's plausible.
They do look bigger, right? I mean, that's not just me.
I don't really, crazy as this sounds, I don't really pay much attention to that. I just don't. It's not like a thing that I care that much about.
I feel like I'm not one to pay that much attention to it either, but I feel like her outfits and the camera work has kind of drawn attention to it of late.
Well, and they did that weird.
She's also not very good at wrestling, so there's that.
They did that weird, like, walking backstage, and she stops and tells the dude, if you got in shape and you actually made yourself put together, you'd be the first guy I'd call. I'm like, fuck is this shit? He just walks up to a random dude and starts saying that? Like, I don't really understand what the point of that was. I mean, she expects the best? I don't know. He looked like a normal dude. What's wrong with that guy?
I don't know.
Well, she's a heel, I guess, and you have to be a certain standard.
And she's like, right, and she's a fitness. I mean, I don't know. Her character's sort of been all over the place, but her being a fitness competitor has always been part of it. So,
just if you were more like Dolph, isn't that her boyfriend?
Are they still together? Yeah, I don't know if they're still together or not, or what. I don't know.
Boy, the rumor roundup today was juicy as a motherfucker, wasn't it? Holy shit, dude!
Randall Ortman getting the dirt.
Ortman's out there like, fuck it, I'm going straight gossip. Apparently, Alberto Del Rio is a ring rat. Ooh, I said ring rat. Don't fucking sue me.
Well,
I mean, people talk shit about.
Oh, absolutely. I think we should talk shit. I mean, if we're Alexa Bliss, who had like a pretty pristine reputation,
I was gonna say we got bombed for that.
She got slammed for, and it wasn't just us. We ran it and there's some issues with that. Maybe we've hopefully have addressed them, but
well, fuck, we ran Del Rio.
Yeah, that's equal opportunity. But I do think, but Alexa Bliss was like, we never heard anything bad about her. And then this rumor came up and people were like, she's a slut. And Del Rio's got a history of being a dirtbag. That's what the first couple rumors are. It's like, well, he's kind of an egomaniac prick. And also ring rat.
Egomaniac prick, and he fucks a lot of women.
He likes he likes the women. There
is inherently nothing bad about this.
Mm-mm.
I mean, they're all consenting adults, assuming that's the case. Everyone's an adult here, and I like you, and I like you, and let's fucking hop on the good foot and do the bad thing. There should be no judgment within that. Mm-mm. Even if he went through the entire female roster, there should be no judgment on him, and there should be no judgment on them. The problem is, we know that there would be judgment on the women.
You know who actually did go? You know who actually did go through the entire female roster?
Vince.
Well, yeah, including maybe his daughter. We don't even know.
Oh my
That's
God.
a joke. We do know he didn't touch his daughter.
It's a joke.
It's just like that's something I thought was funny about those rumors too, because it's a lot like, except that this guy was more over, but it's a lot like Punk. It's a guy that is an egomaniac who sleeps with a lot of female wrestlers that Triple H doesn't like.
You think maybe that's why? Because Trips can't sow his oats anymore.
Maybe, probably not. I think it's all just politics with the game. It's all about the game and how you play it.
What a stupid show that we're talking right now. What a stupid show.
Well, do you want to? I would rather talk about that than Del Rio's fucking 20-minute match with Kalisto.
I know, right? They just fucking dragged it on. Did they just get out of a thing? If I was him, I'd be unhappy too. Like, what are you doing with me?
Well, it's his dumb fault for not immediately vetoing the Mex America angle.
Like he has that power.
Well, he could have said, I'm not coming back if that's what you got for me. Right? I mean, he supposedly was making all this money in Mexico and on the Indies.
It's this funny thing where, like, I think there was this expectation that because the U.S. title was booked the way it was while it was on John Cena, there was maybe an expectation that would be booked that way or something similar when it got to the next guy. And when it got to the next guy, which was Del Rio, so Cena could leave and have attend to, I think he had to film maybe American Grid, or maybe he had one of his injuries, whatever. When that happened, they were like, well, we can't book it that way anymore. It's on Del Rio now. And their grand idea was to put him with fucking Zeb Coulter, which was not a good idea at all. But, that's actually a good question. So we've seen angles. Right. So going into things or whatever, you pitch stuff and then you hear things and then you go, will that work on TV? How do you know?
Right.
Maybe there's a historical precedent, like we did this at this time and it worked. And, a lot of times that doesn't mean it will work now. Doesn't mean it won't work now. But if it's you, do you shut down shit just because it's like, I don't think that sounds good? Or do you go, you know what? Crazy shit seems to get over sometimes. You never know what's going to catch. So maybe we do the Mex America angle, and maybe it gets over huge. Maybe it sells a bunch of merch. Maybe it becomes a main event level program. Of course, we know with the benefit of hindsight that's not what happened. And it killed all of Del Rio's, heat. Yes. Yeah. All of the, oh my God, he's back in WWE so soon after smacking the social media manager. This is whatever. It took all that away. Swagger's nowhere to be found. Coulter's not even with the company anymore. And so it doesn't work. But going in, do you refuse it just because you have a thought, well, maybe this won't get over? Or do you just go with it? That's a legit question.
I think there was enough evidence that this is not. I mean, they tried the weird Alberto Del Rio as like a unifying face thing. Well, when he won the title, I mean that they already screwed up with that once, so I would have stayed away from anything like nationality based. I don't know. I think there was enough evidence here that we know that this was not a good idea. And plus, I thought that's what you're supposed to use house shows for, right? I mean, I guess you wanted to save the surprise of his return, but I don't know. I in some cases I see that. Like, I mean, I would have thought that, say, I don't know. I can't think of anything that I didn't think that would something that I had thought had no chance of getting over that did. I mean, I guess like We the People, but that sort of didn't get over and then ironically got over later.
Santino Marella's entire WWE career. I wouldn't think any of that
was funny right away. I mean, that to me is. I mean, maybe I'm weird. I mean, if I see him do that, I still laugh.
That's what I mean.
Son of a gun, and like, there's nothing about what Coulter and Del Rio did that I think is cool or funny or.
But that's what I'm saying. Like beforehand, I wouldn't have thought that. I would have if you had pitched the Marella character and all the mannerisms and all the things he does, I would not have said I think that's going to get over. But it got over to the point where people wanted him to beat Daniel Bryan for the title in an Elimination Chamber match a month before WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. Like badly wanted it. So it's a strange business. So I can't really fault them, but and plus too, it's at least they were doing something, right? Because now it's like he's just working in a match with Kalisto.
Well, I mean, you go back to what we started. We said we were going to talk about, and then we didn't really. I mean, do you think are they right for running the Rising Stars or the Shining Stars or whatever out there? Because maybe that'll get over, or is that like a dumb idea?
That's one of those things that I hear that and I don't understand. I don't understand who the fuck pitched what. Whoever pitched that is the greatest salesman in the history of the world, because how the fuck is this supposed to get over? Legit, I'm dead serious. We're going to laugh about it because, like I said, maybe they're failed real estate agents. Maybe they work for the Puerto Rican government and they're trying to like improve relations with the rest of the world. I don't fucking know. Yeah, they're flower enthusiasts. They're just people who enjoy being tan and hanging out on beaches. They like the water. Like, what the fuck is there? What does any of this have to do with wrestling? That's the big problem.
Mm-hmm. Well, the ring is a metaphor for their island.
Again, yes, that's the only way to find entertainment in this is that the ring is Puerto Rico is a metaphorical place. They are talking about a wrestling ring, not actually Puerto Rico. Except we know that's not true. It's the stupidest thing in the world.
We've just watched 5 weeks of vignettes of them in Puerto Rico. So.
In Puerto Rico with
eating Puerto Rican food,
telling us to go there.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? I think it'd be fucking hilarious if someone actually went there and they were like, you know what? Primo and Epico are nowhere to be found. This is bullshit. And like wrote a strongly worded letter to WWE that went viral that we could get a bunch of hits on.
Like maybe right after they sued because one of Eva Marie's salt packets got in their eye.
Maybe send that stupid idiot Frank the Clown down there to write another long letter.
That's the future Foley right there.
Oh, jeez. They're all.
He's soon to be a star on WWE Network.
They're all unbearable. My God,
what is that show called?
Holy Foley.
Holy Foley.
That show's gonna. I can't even hear it. Mick Foley was a great wrestler, a great man, great American. He's been ruined. He's been absolutely ruined for me. And it's funny they promoted the Shane McMahon podcast, right? Mm-hmm. They didn't show Mick once. They didn't make clear that he's the one doing the interview. I think they hope, if they just don't say anything, that people will think it's Stone Cold and tune in. And then, bam, thanks for joining me right here on WWE Network. Oh, fucking this guy again. No, the Shining Stars are not going to get over. And
see, that to me, it's very similar. I really think, yes, you never know what's going to get over. It's a weird business, but I think you look at the track record of those guys and just go, you know what, this is probably not the best idea.
A geography-based gimmick is not going to get you over.
I mean, plus, Jesus, what are you going to do to not get a push if you're like related to somebody? I mean, these guys, I mean, I'm nothing against them, but do they deserve a third chance when? I don't know. I mean, that's something that, and I try not to be like a Smark, but I am. So whatever, I gotta just own that too. But I mean, that's a problem that I had with last night. Even though, like, I sort of enjoyed the Gold Dust, R-Truth stuff because it's just so crazy. It's like an Adult Swim bit, and and they are using it to get give Fandango and Tyler Breeze, a couple of pretty talented dudes, something to do. So that's good. But at the same time, you just got to go, Jesus, this has gotten more time than anything in the history of WWE. This has gotten a sustained build over the course of like 5 fucking months on every show. And I mean, the other thing, though, the flip side of that, I guess, is that it works. People seem to care about it last night because they told us it was important. So why don't you do that with some other shit?
The performers committed and they kept going with it. Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm also not one of these people who are like, excuse me. I can't believe they got rid of Sandow, but yet they kept Primo and Epico. I'm not one of those guys.
I'm not trying. Yeah, I'm not picking anybody over anybody else. It's weird that certain things get this kind of a commitment and other things don't. And I do feel like, I mean, we're not in the business, and somewhat you never know what's going to get over, but we've been watching for a long time, and not just you and I, like the people who are on Cage Side, the people who are serious wrestling fans could probably guess at least at like a 70% clip what's going to work and what's not. Mm-hmm. And I think probably you look at Mex America or you look at the Shooting Stars or whatever the fuck they're called, and probably most of us will say, no, that's not going to fly.
Well, then you also have to define what working equals, right? Like, what does it mean when you say this is never going to work? Because it could be a good mid-card act. It could be a tag team.
But I think you want them to be popular or at least like passionate. I mean, you want people to react to them. You don't, what you don't want, what you patently completely do not want is what happened to Primo and Epico last night, which was they walked out there and nobody gave a fucking fart.
Not even a fart.
Not even one fart. And I don't know, our people in Greensboro can tell me I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. I think that the thing fucking died on the vine.
Well, the fucking theme song starts with like "Come to Puerto Rico," and it's
it's not the worst theme song because the Vaudevillains theme song still exists, but it's pretty bad.
Is the idea that they'll push Puerto Rico so hard that we'll want someone to just decimate them so they'll stop pushing it?
I guess.
I mean,
that seems like a weird, like, it's so they're counting on a lot of their fans being anti-Puerto Rico or
anti-pushing anything.
Anti-foreign tourism?
Well, no, just
foreign, but yeah, I mean,
it's just if you push something on me really hard and I don't want it, and I tell you I don't, but you keep pushing it, then I hate you, right?
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, I guess maybe that's the idea, but that's kind of not to be a dick, but I don't trust wrestling fans to even understand that that's what's happening.
Well, I guess that's what they're going for. They're just saying they're gonna, and that's that's something that works. It has worked a couple of times in NXT where they've just made somebody so fucking unbearable that they got over as a heel. Corbin, Samson, kind of now.
Eva Marie,
she's gifted though, but
exactly. That's the other thing, too. You have to have people like that at this point because you fucking people. Again, there's no such thing as a Smark. That is bullshit. You can't say those two words together. They don't make fucking sense, people. You can't be smart and also a mark. You can't. If you're smartened up, you're no longer a mark. If you're still buying in, you're a fucking mark, okay? Like, I've seen so many people who are like, when are they going to give Becky a win? Are you fucking kidding me? Are you serious? Are you really concerned with that? That's what Road Dogg meant by wins and losses don't matter. If the performer is entertaining, that's what matters. Becky's on television, she's being entertaining, and she's putting people over. And you're going, if they don't give her a win, I'm going to get real pissed off here. You're not a Smark. You're a mark. That's what a mark does. I don't know. I forgot what I was going to say.
I don't know. I mean, I don't get hung up on the terms. I mean, to me,
I do. That one I do. I don't like.
Mark, I think we're all Smarks. We all think we know something.
We're not, there's no such thing.
What difference does it matter? I mean, it's just a fucking word. Who cares? What do you want us to be? What do you want to call us?
Because words mean things. That's my problem with it. Words mean things.
Words
you don't just
have
say
the power
shit.
We give them.
Oh, don't give me that fucking.
It's true.
That's all right.
I mean, is it so? Is that not true?
Mm.
I mean, if I call you a fart head, I mean, is that?
I mean, that minimizes. Like I said, words mean things.
Well, I'm not going to use some of the. I mean, certain words do mean things, but I don't think anything as it pertains to the fandom of wrestling counts as something that really means something. It doesn't. It's not up there with racial slurs or anything like that. It's just a fucking goofy word.
It's definitely my own personal. This bugs me. It's a pet peeve. that people believe that there's a such thing as a smart mark, because you're really not a smart mark. I mean, maybe you're smartened up to some of the stuff that's going on.
I don't think. I mean, I think. Well, there are assholes who think that they're smart, but I don't think most of the people who use that word just use it as interchangeable with like someone who really, really likes wrestling.
Yeah, it's just a weird thing. Why aren't we just fans?
Because there's different degrees of fans. I think. I mean, there are people. I mean, why do we call people casual fans? Do people get pissed off that you called them a casual fan? Fuck you! I'm not casual.
The people do get mad about that. It's weird.
That's stupid too.
I'm a big fan, or I'm not a big fan. Like you know what I mean?
Smark is just a way to say big fan, or hardcore fan, or super fan. I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's what it means to me, and I think most people. I don't think.
That's my thing. Is big fan is like very clear what you're trying to say. Smark is like, okay, that you're combining. It's not a real word. B, you're combining two words that you can't combine because they mean totally opposite things. And it just sounds stupid. It's like IWC. Like it's embarrassing is I think what it is really. It's I don't want to be associated with it. And I have to be because there's just this fucking group of people who just can't. That's the inside thing. It's I want to be on the inside. I want to be in the know. I want to be a part of the show. I want to be, I want people to respect my opinion on this. And so it's, let me use the terms or the fucking insider stuff, and you don't really know, and you end up sounding like a fucking idiot. I do, and it's part of the program, right? I mean, there are languages and everything. I mean, should you stop using gimmick and go over and heat because you don't really know? I mean, then you get into because you rail against that argument that we're not allowed to talk about it because we didn't do it, which is something that you're basically sort of on the side of and saying that we shouldn't call ourselves the IWC or whatever else. No, it's just the certain terms that are just kind of that don't make sense to me. Like a gimmick makes sense to me. Like it makes sense when you say this is a gimmick and okay, fine, I can go with that. Or this is what heat is. Okay, I can go with that. But when you smart mark doesn't make any fucking sense. Mark makes sense.
It's just a way to say that you're not an 8-year-old who thinks that John Cena has actually never lost a fight in his life. That's all it means. I don't know. I mean, I don't think you can. I don't know. I don't see how you can pick and choose. I mean, because you are sort of saying. I mean, you're saying you wish people didn't use this term, so you are telling people how to do stuff. So you're being a little bit high and mighty yourself, right? I mean, we all do that. I'm not trying to pick on you. I'm just saying it's. I mean, everybody does that.
I'm being a snob.
A little. I mean, it personally bothers you, and there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. I mean, because my approach to that stuff, that's why I named our little fan poll thing what I did, is because I think the way you sort of diffuse that is you make fun of it, and I own it. I mean, that's like call me a Smark. I'm just a doof on the internet, but whatever. So for anybody who thinks that they're going to be high and mighty, oh, I'm a smart mark and I'm going to tell you what to like. No, we're all smart marks, asshole. We're all, every idiot, even the idiot you hate is also what you are. So suck it up and deal with it.
Yeah, I think that's more of the, oh my fucking shut up phone. Sorry. I
didn't even hear it. So
yeah, I think that's more of maybe it's the whole thing. Because wrestling's so weird, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Being involved in it and talking about it, like the whole thing is just so strange and not welcoming and that's all things, I guess. But
yeah, I mean, wrestling is, I think, a weird kind of fandom for a bunch of different reasons. But I think that's 21st century fandom it's all about, there's always going to be people in everything that are trying to keep other people away from it and try to. And just in anything in life, any job, any pastime you have, you're gonna.
This is mine, and you can't have it.
Right, and I know more about it than you do, and that my fucking sense of personal worth is based on knowing more than you, and
it's elitist,
Yeah,
it really is in so many ways, and it's such a silly ass thing to be elitist about. I like the Dean Ambrose way of looking at it. Like it was supposed to be fun. It's silly and stupid as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Like why are we? That's why he's in angles like the Asylum match. But back to the actual show we're here to talk about.
Mm.
We haven't even talked about Roman Reigns and AJ Styles.
Mm.
Probably because it's good.
It's all right.
Really? You don't like it?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just sort of bored with it. I don't feel like they've added a couple little wrinkles. Like if you're really into it, and a lot of people seem to be, that's great. I feel like we sort of know they've done. I mean, it's made sense. It's been logical, but I'm like, okay, let's go ahead and get it over with now. Because I also, and my original problem still stands, is I have zero belief that it ends in any way but the way I know it's going to end. So that takes a little bit of it out for me. So it's all right. It's not, I don't hate it, but I'm just sort of, I'm kind of bored with it.
I mean, I can see that. But I feel like they, like I've been talking about, it's been AJ Styles making a choice of what he wants to do. And last night he made that choice. He crossed that line. And part of that, it's interesting though, because part of that is circumstance. Part of that has to do with what has been placed in front of him as far as, well, this is what you have to do in the match anyway, right? So it was like added incentive, the powers that be, as it were, gave him that added push to make him move in that direction, and he had to make the decision. And it's the match is contingent on who's going to be the most violent. And we know Reigns has shown that he's totally willing to do that. And up to this point, AJ hadn't. And they created a scenario where, absent the influence of his friends, it was just, here's a chair, here's Roman Reigns, here's time for me to make a decision. And he wavered on that. And that's powerful to me. And then he got punched in the mouth again. And it's even more powerful because it was like, that's the breaking point. We found his breaking point. And we found it just as we're getting ready to head into the match. So I thought the story was paced perfectly in that sense of like, okay, now Styles has gotten to that point where he will go that far. We found his line, and now he's crossed it, and now it's just absolute fucking mayhem on the other side of that, because everything is now available to him. There's no, his moral compass was tested for all this time, and now, the innocence has been corrupted. So I'm looking forward to the chaotic final scene, I guess. I'm just seeing so much more there than just, the basic, because I think there is more there. I think that's when you don't have to go there. They took you there. Like, I don't like with the Dean stuff. It's consumerism and all that. No, it's not. That's not what they're trying to say. This is absolutely what they're trying to say. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I guess I appreciate it. It feels really good. It feels like AJ feels like a really important main event level star on par with Roman Reigns, while Reigns still also feels like the big main event level star who is the champ, who is, you're going to have to do a lot to beat that guy. That's how it should be. That's absolutely how it should be. He's the fucking champ. Like, you're going to have to go as far as you can possibly go to beat that guy. Otherwise, who cares about the match? And maybe he wins. Does that take away from it? For me, it doesn't. It really doesn't.
Cool. No, I can't argue with it. I mean, I'm not saying that this is a badly done angle. I'm not saying that it's. I agree with everything you say. I think they've done the right things to tell this story. For me, I'm not for two reasons. I think one, because a suspense to it, so that does, for right or wrong, for me that has taken something a little bit out of it. It's lowered the dramatic stakes, even though I think they're hitting the beats correctly. And the other thing is, I think as they've done this, for me, again, just my subjective opinion, they've made both guys unlikable. So I don't need to root for somebody, but at this point, I'm kind of like, I don't like any of you guys. All six of your dicks.
Wow.
So that, and going into this, I felt like AJ was my guy, and that's, that might be smarky of me or whatever, but I did. I liked the way that Roman was being, without turning full blown cheating heel, being kind of an arrogant dick. And AJ was being sort of, and I think he could have grabbed the chair and done those things without like delivering a sort of arrogant promo about having headlined the Tokyo Dome and shit, which actually isn't even true. And a lot of people pointed that out immediately, and they knew it. So that's sort of a dick move from him too. So for me, I don't know. I'm pretty sure that this is all just, another pelt on Roman's wall at the end, in which case, while they've done good things with making AJ look like a contender here, it all depends on what happens next, which is always the case in wrestling. But definitely for the guy that loses a feud, the next thing is very important. So I'm not going to judge it based on that yet, but that's something I'm thinking about, whether that makes me a good fan, a bad fan, a smart fan, whatever. Just and yeah, I don't right now. None of these guys is likable to me.
It's a bit Civil War to me. Are you Team Cap, Team Iron Man? You can see clear motivations on both sides, and they're both, morally sound, right? They're not bad inherently. Bad comes of it, but I don't think it's, I don't look at it like, oh, these guys are all just a bunch of dicks. I mean, I suppose you could see that, or you could get there with it. I mean, but I don't know. I've been so wrapped up in everything that they've done, all the little things that they've done within the story, that I've kind of stayed with it the whole time. And I guess if you haven't done that, it probably would be easier to just be like, yeah, these guys are all just dickheads. Because I see a lot of that too, and I think that's part of it's a fan problem of getting enjoyment out of things, to worry a little too much about alignment.
I'm not worried about alignment. I mean, it's actually not. I don't care if they're faces or heels. I'm just the difference to me between Cap and Iron Man and AJ and Roman is that while I could pick out moral failings and moral, high ground in both Tony Stark and Steve Rogers' arguments, I also like both of the guys. They're sort of funny. That I don't right now with Roman and AJ. I don't have that. I don't.
It's a question of character.
They're not. It's not. It's just. It's not. It's a question of enjoyment. I don't find either of them particularly entertaining. Outside, I mean, the wrestling is good. I like that from both of them. I feel like that's been evenly paced. But part of my problem with that is I've seen. I mean, has every Raw and SmackDown for the last month featured some variation of Usos versus Good Brothers, where Roman and AJ ends up getting involved.
It's been a lot.
Everything but last SmackDown, where AJ was off for his ankle. I think
it's been a lot.
Even that had. So, and I, to me so the wrestling is cool, but I've seen it, and I just don't, like I said, it's not that the shades of gray are there and it's great. I just don't, I'm not interested in, I'm not terribly entertained by either guy. So I'm looking forward to a good match. I think I already know what's going to happen, and that's what it'll be for me. So like I said, I'm not shitting on it. I just don't, I want to see them do more stories like this. I hope everybody loves it, and I hope it leads to good ratings and more subscribers. And because I want to see them tell stories like this, but this one isn't hitting for me as much as it is for some other people.
It had at the end of the first segment, it had a big fight feel to me when Roman attacked Styles and he went out of the ring, and the club picked him up and were like holding him back, and he was yelling, and Reigns was like holding the belt up and yelling back at him.
See, to me, I agree with you, but to me, that I would have been more pumped for Sunday if I didn't then see them fight later in the free show.
I agree, but also I don't agree, but I see what you're saying, because I think they did need to establish that AJ would go where he would go, and he needed to do that with a chair, and he needed to do that with a Styles Clash on the chair, right? And also it makes for a more even matchup, because Reigns versus Styles, Reigns is superior. That's just the case. But Reigns versus Styles, and you are allowed to go as far as you need to go.
But they both can go as far. I mean, to me, that doesn't change anything.
To me, it's
I didn't go in. I would be more intrigued if I thought maybe there was a chance that AJ was going to go into Sunday and try to still win legit, because he's already gone there. I mean, he went there with the no DQ. He let Gallows and Anderson help him at Payback.
But not full blown though. Like it happened, but now it's like you can do a Styles Clash on a chair. You can do a Styles Clash anywhere you fucking want to. You can do anything you need to do to win this match. To me, that's intriguing. I mean, yes, Roman can do the same, but it's more of an equalizer, because we know that he's just the superior guy without those things. But now that those things have been introduced, then to me, that's where the interest.
I guess it also goes to where for me, there's no suspense about who's winning. So I don't.
That's true, I suppose.
I mean, you can do whatever, and I appreciate it. I mean, I appreciate them doing these things. I was just praising NXT for finding a way to make me care about Finn and Joe again. But a lot of that is because I still kind of like both of the characters, but I definitely still like Joe, even though I kind of like him as a dick, but he's more entertaining to me. And
are you saying
neither one of these guys is terribly entertaining to me in the same way that Joe is right now?
Are you saying you want Samoa Joe?
I want Samoa Joe. I want even more than Somo Joe. I want Waymo Joe.
No way, Jose.
No way, Jose.
What else happened on the show that we want to talk about? Charlotte and Natalya had a contract signing.
Did they? I thought Stephanie and McMahon and Ric Flair started a feud.
Man, are they going to do Stephanie versus Charlotte? I'm in for it.
I mean, yeah, I guess. I mean, they definitely. I mean, Those are the two characters they push the most consistently.
And it's they gave it the main event. Yeah.
Yeah.
The,
I mean,
the
that's
third hour that no one watches, and the Golden State Warriors were getting beat by the OKC Thunder.
And the Pens and the Lightning were in overtime, and
they
knew.
No one cares about hockey, but
well, some people do. The I mean, the end of the 10 o'clock Eastern time hour is their money spot. That's where they went with Styles and Reigns.
Well, even the start of the show, really. I mean, that's when most of the viewers.
Those are probably their two biggest. That's what they seem to program around, and then the third hour becomes stuff.
Still, though, I mean, prestige, whatever, you could use that, and
it's not bad. No, I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's another one that I don't for a second think Natty's winning, so that takes a little something out of it for me.
Well, they did add the wrinkle of if Flair even shows up at all, the title goes to Natalya, and I don't think they would do a hot shot angle. I think they could. I think if they wanted to, they could do it for the big surprise, and the very next night Charlotte has a rematch and Flair's not banned from ringside. She gets the title back via Rick, and then that's maybe they could go into the new feud, whatever. I think they could do that. I think it might be even worth it to do that. To do just a quick hot shot like they did with Austin and Kane in '98, whatever. The first blood match, he won the title back the next night.
Yeah,
and it was like he didn't. That was a time when you could do something like that, but I don't think it'd make a difference here. I mean, it's right. It'd be something interesting.
If the titles that are changing hands on Sunday are probably the U.S. and the Intercontinental, I would guess. I think Rusev wins, so he can end up jobbing to Cena.
I'm not sure we're going to even have a title change. Oh, really? They're going to no, I don't hope they don't do that. I don't know where Cena fits anymore. I really don't.
I don't know where any of these guys fit. It's like Kane's working on a post we were talking about in the offices last night. I don't know. I mean, we talked about it last week. They already don't have time for Apollo Crews anymore. He's just forgotten.
Yeah.
Baron Corbin got a pay-per-view kickoff show match, but they didn't have time on the show to build to it. They just had a graphic.
And a Raw fallout.
So now you're gonna add Cena, Rollins, Orton, Wyatt, and Neville to that mix. I mean, forget Neville. I mean, I just say Neville because he's on the list. He's fucked.
Or the rest of the Wyatt family.
Orton, Cena, Wyatt. Yeah, I mean,
where the hell's Braun Strongman?
I think Luke's still hurt, but yeah, I guess Braun Strongman and Eric Rowan will come back with Bray. But yeah, I mean, they're already pushing for time, and you look at. Four guys. One thing we haven't talked about at all, they reunited fucking Kevin Owens and El Generico. Come at me, Marks. It's the same guy. And that I feel like, Owens is safe because he's proven to be a draw, I think, for a lot of the audience. I think Miz is safe because he's got Maurice, and they're going to push Total Divas. But I'm a little worried for what happens to Sammy and Cesaro when those guys come back. If they're not going to, because they're on TV now because they're part of a four-way feud. They're not going to run a four-way IC title feud forever. So they're going to have to find time for those guys when they're not chasing the belt, unless one of them wins, which I guess is possible. But yeah, just down the road. I mean, this is the biggest roster ever. It might be time for a roster split. I don't know.
And Sasha Banks isn't even on TV.
No, and I don't. That one vexes me. Not just because I'm a Banks mark, but because that's the damnedest way. I mean, they know that that's not how you build somebody. It's to hide them.
Yeah, you're not. She's so over everybody. We want Sasha chance, and she's so over. She's not even on TV, and there are things that go along with that, right? But come on, if you're a big star, you're on fucking TV. You're in the title program. You're Roman Reigns.
Yep.
They push you to death. That's what we know they do, And maybe the rules are different for the women, of course. They think Charlotte's the big star. That's
absolutely
today, where she's in 12 consecutive WWE pay-per-views.
Probably this Sunday's 11, and assuming that she either wins or gets a rematch because she lost, Extreme Rules will be or whatever is next. Money in the Bank will be 12. But yeah, it's conceivable. I mean, you could imagine you can plot her out to at least SummerSlam probably, which would be 14 straight pay-per-views for her, which is a lot for one woman.
It's a hell of a thing, dude.
Yep.
She's the star.
Well, that's the thing.
She's the one they think is the star.
Well, it goes back to Epico and Primo too, though. I mean, if you're wrestling royalty, you get a lot of fucking chances.
That's true. And it also gives them the chance to put Rick on TV.
Yep.
And
whether or not that's a good idea anymore, I don't know. But
can we stop with the he's drunk thing?
Yeah, I don't think he's drunk, but I think
he's always fucking drunk. Everybody, come on.
He's sort of. I mean, he's compromised in some. I don't know. Maybe he's not. I don't.
Wow.
I don't find him
compromised in some way.
Well, don't you think that's? I mean, he doesn't even make sense like he used to. I mean, at least before when he was losing his shit, there was still like a through line you could follow. I don't know. Maybe he's not.
He's not the Rick of old, that's for sure.
I am not. Again, to continue my theme of the last 15 minutes, I'm not entertained by him anymore. It's just, I just sort of sit there and look at it and go, "Oh Jesus." So, yeah,
I agree with that. Anything else?
So yeah, you got nothing on the Intercontinental title feud? You don't want to talk about that?
No, not really. I mean, it's just kind of standard stuff that, you know, when you put 4 guys in a program and you have to fit them all into the 1 or 2 segments that you devote to them, there's really only so much you can do. And they did that. Just mismatch the tag partners, or, you know, Sammy and Kevin are tagging for and that doesn't get the proper gravity that it deserves, kind of thing. Or
I mean, I thought they did a good. They made me interested in seeing like a run where they come up with some stip where they have to tag for a while, because I like the stuff, because Owens makes anything work, where he was tagging in by slapping Sammy in the face, and then when Sammy's playing face in peril, Owens is running him down from ringside. Even then, he comes in and does like one of the better hot tags you'll see. I don't know. I dug it a lot.
Owens was jogging from one side of the ring to the other and had the pained look on his face as Cesaro was making him run and for the uppercuts. Yep. He's like, God, another time? Please stop this. Just knock me out right now. I don't want to run anymore. Kevin Owens makes everything fun.
Exactly.
It was fun.
That's why I'm not worried about him on TV. So
I'm not saying it was bad. It was fine for what it was.
What do you think about the big cast push, since we didn't really talk about that last week either?
I have pitchforks. I have flames, or what are they called? Torches? That's.
Oh, Jesus.
We just caught it live on. Why did I say pitchfork? That's not what you riot. Is that what you riot with?
What are you talking about? I don't even.
I want to talk about organizing a riot if he doesn't win the title. That's a classic.
Pitchforks would be good. That is, that's. I don't. Did we ever?
Cage side offices moment.
Did we ever talk about the tennis incident on air?
I don't think we did.
I think we were even talking about. We might have been talking about racquetball. We were talking about tennis or racquetball, and Gino's like, "What's the thing with the strings on it that you hit the ball with? What is that?"
In tennis, the thing that you use to hit the thing.
And Handstock and I were both like, "You're not seriously asking us what?" Because I think in the conversation the word racquetball had come up, and then you were asking us what the word for racket was.
Yeah, I just did not. And then now with the flames.
With the flames. I think pitchfork is right. If you're going to like storm the castle, you take pitchforks.
Yeah, like
you were right on one of them.
Yeah, supplies, pitchfork and the flames. The flames gimmick, the torch.
The flame, yeah. The fire gimmick, yeah.
Yeah, your pitchforks and torches.
So your fire, you've got fire and pitchforks ready if Cass doesn't win the title.
I'm ready to riot if they don't put the belt on him within a month.
Fair.
Within 1 month, he needs to be champ. You know what? I'll be nice about it. If he's not champ by SummerSlam, I'm storming Stamford.
That seems fair. Yeah.
Tough but fair.
Yeah, I like
tough
it.
But fair. Yep.
I don't know. Anything else? We're sure we're missing something, right? You don't want to talk about Goldust anymore?
I thought it's nice that I'm in favor of WWE paying off storylines even if they're dumb, and maybe especially because they're dumb.
Fair.
That's my take on that. I like the Fandango Tyler Breeze team, mostly because I'm still a Dongo fan, dude. He's
an entertaining cat. Yeah.
Because I can shorten his name to Dongo, and it just pleases me.
There you go.
It pleases me to say that out loud, Dongo.
What do they call him? Breeze Dongo? Is that?
It's the dumbest fucking tag team in the world name. It's really dumb. But I love that he's just always moving. Like you see, like you look at him and he's kind of like looking down and he's like shaking his hips a little bit. Like it's kind of big, a little Big E, but more reserved.
The dance, you can't stop the dance.
We talked about Dana Brooke, I guess, and how you wanted to talk about her big fake titties.
I'm a horrible human being, apparently. Yes.
They all have fake tits, Sean. Didn't Charlotte get her boobs done? Lana got a boob job not long ago.
Becky doesn't. Sasha doesn't.
Becky doesn't.
Bailey doesn't.
Emma does.
Does Emma?
I think so.
I don't know. So they're the same size they've been for a while. But
the idea is it doesn't matter.
Right? No, I mean, the only thing that I think is, like I said, if they are being like encouraged to do that, or like if there's a message that like you'll get over more. That kind of sucks. I mean, I'm not even going to say it's a bad thing. It's just like if you didn't want to do it and you think your career will be more successful if you do it, that sucks.
It's
same
also
as if a dude has to get pec implants or if there's pressure to take roids or anything like that. And I'm not saying any of that's true. I just think for anybody, if you're being told that your body is an impediment to your success, that sucks.
Okay, but like my feeling there is The Rock got surgery on his pecs, right, for the opposite reason. But also, like, we're in an aesthetic business, dude.
Oh, I agree. I mean, but Dana Brooke was not good. She was not ununattractive without.
I don't think that, and I'm not
saying you're saying. I'm not saying you're saying that, but I don't. I'm not saying aesthetics don't matter. Obviously, they do. Sure. But
I want to make clear to the listener that I'm not advocating for WWE to take a stance that says if you're a female, you need to get your tits done if they're not big enough, or you need to get them done if they're not like shaped properly or something like that, so that you can look a certain way so that you can be on TV. I don't think that's how it should be. I really don't. I think anybody of any shape and size, especially because that's how it is for the men, right? We've seen Rey Mysterio was World Heavyweight Champion, and Mark Henry was World Heavyweight Champion, and Earthquake was a title challenger, and Hulk Hogan was a champ. AJ Styles is challenging Roman Reigns, and you run the gamut, right? It's just a bunch of different dudes who look a bunch of different ways, and some of them are really muscular, built like Greek gods, and some of them are real small guys who are not, who just look like regular dudes that you'd run into every day out at the supermarket, and some of them are real big old fat guys, and some of them are just, that's just everybody. Some of them are real tall, some of them are short. With the women, it just feels like there's not as much.
Right.
You don't get that, right? Nia Jax exists, but that's it, and that kind of sucks but you see, they pushed Sign Guy, and Sign Guy was in Florida, putting up signs, dogging her for her weight, which completely turned me on that douchebag.
Yeah, he had some really whatever it was. There was the NXT taping in Orlando, I guess, the one before this last batch of episodes came from. He had a few real douchebag signs. That guy can go fuck himself.
Yeah, fuck that guy. And I think Nia's great. I'm a fan of Nia.
Nia's gorgeous too. So
she's incredibly beautiful. My God.
So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's just weird to me. I mean, I hope that that's what she wanted to do, and I mean, my concern with Dana, like I said, is I think she like Apollo Crews could have used another 6 months in NXT, and I think that's kind of showed last night in her match. She's great with character stuff. She's made her annoying shtick work fantastically well, but she's not quite there as a wrestler yet. And that's that limit, especially now that Emma's not going to be around, that kind of limits her valuability.
I'm so sad about that.
I don't want to, that. I was in a fucking horrible mood yesterday because of that.
I could tell, dude. You were in the cage side offices.
I had a headache yesterday too. I was just cranky, but that just sucks. That poor woman is talented, and this has been her dream since she was a kid. Every bit as much as Emma. I mean, as Bayley and Sasha, and she just gets bad luck or bad beat.
Bad gimmick, bad pairing initially. Do you think that Dana Brooke? I know we talked about it, but do you think she's got the potential to? Opportunity. Here you go. Emma's gone. You were only here because of her. We were going to put you together, but now they're out there. They're having her beat Becky. She's taking Emma's spot for however long. And Emma might not, this could be a month absence, right? They said we don't know. She needs surgery, and we'll know more after the surgery's done tomorrow. But do you think, I think Dana's got a ton of potential. Look, match wasn't that great. Really sloppy even.
Mm-hmm.
They gave it time. They devoted. Her character work is good.
Yeah, exactly. It's fantastic.
Kevin Owens-esque almost, as far as you don't see what she does a lot from any of the other women, and Owens is super unique in that way. But Owens can wrestle really well.
Right.
But you can get there. You can teach that. You'll get better with that as time goes on. And even if you don't, some of the biggest stars in the history of all time are not exactly fucking mat technicians. So it's, I'll always be an advocate for that. If you do good character work and you make me give a shit, I don't care if you can't wrestle a fucking lick. That's the least important thing about all of this shit, funny as that may be. So you think they should keep pushing her and not bail on it because Emma's hurt?
She's up. I mean, yeah,
I agree.
I mean, well, they've got a lot. I mean, that's the women's injuries are pretty substantial now. You got Nikki,
Oh man, I miss her a lot.
both Team Bad members, and
True.
now Emma. So the women are kind of banged up.
That's true.
So I mean, I hope they stick with her, but I mean, she does need. Yeah, I don't think. I mean, I'm hoping that she's not as green as she was at one point, where she kind of looked dangerous to the people she was working with. I don't.
Right.
Last night didn't look that bad. So hopefully they can keep. I think it is harder to learn to improve on that stuff though when you're traveling and you're not at the performance center. So
Then again, that's part
tricky.
of the gig that you need to get used to. You need to be on the road. You need to find the gym. You need to fucking come to TV, get your creative, run through what you want to do all your stuff, right? So you need to get into that rhythm. You need to learn that part of it. You can't do that while you're at the cozy ass performance center and everything is just real nice and super high tech and you get all the greatest coaching.
But you kind of can now because you can have both if you're on that track. I mean, if you are at the performance center for 3 days and then you're on the road to Seattle and Tacoma and Portland for 4 days, I think they do have that ability now. But I think you're right. They need bodies on the main roster. So
yeah, I mean,
at least especially on the women's side. So
yeah, I mean, just main roster. Just doing that and getting up in that grind and figuring out how to make that work. And we've seen the thing with her is we've seen her grow. We've seen her get way better.
Yeah.
Like you said, we've seen her go from an active liability, dangerous to her opponents potentially, to actually a pretty fucking good heel and a great character and someone I enjoy watching who actually makes me want to watch more as opposed to just, oh, that happened and it was there and I guess I'm watching because it's my job. She's one of those characters, and we need a lot more of those.
Yep.
Especially if they're not going to use Eva.
Yeah. What's up with that? She's a top heel. They're leaving money on the table.
John, I hope she gives you a salt packet. Because you're a salty, salty dog.